By now, you should probably know that Domantas Sabonis has been named an All-Star and he rightfully deserves to, but for some reason a lot of people, a lot of NBA casuals think Sabonis is nothing more than a rebounding big man and he doesn't really do anything else, and that he didn't deserve the All-Star nod, which is quite frankly ridiculous. Anyone who watched the Pacers play saw that Sabonis was the most talented guy on the Pacers roster while Oladipo was out. And while some people may think that this rise came out of nowhere, it actually didn't. It was a very long time coming. Sabonis has been a talented player since coming out of Gonzaga, especially last year where he broke out a bit towards the end of the season. But now, he really had his chance to shine. On the season, Sabonis is putting up extremely impressive numbers, averaging 18.2 points, 12.7 rebounds on 53.8% shooting from the field, and 23.4% from the three-point line. But what's more impressive to me is his free throw shooting, which is a solid 72.2%, and even more impressive to me, his assist numbers, which is at 4.5 per game. Those rebounding numbers are good for 6th overall in the league, and his assist numbers in the power forward position is good enough for 4th. And you know who his game is really reminding me of? His father, Arvydas Sabonis. Both are extremely good passing big men, both can rebound the ball, and both have the ability to step outside to the mid-range or even the three-pointer to shoot the ball, even though Arvydas didn't really do that in his career because it was pretty uncommon for centers to do that. Another player who Sabonis really reminds me of as well is Pau Gasol, the big man who played for the Grizzlies and the Lakers for most of his career. Gasol was an exceptionally skilled big man who had the ability to bring the ball up the court at times, and he also had the ability to pass out of the high post or the low post depending on where he was. Sabonis gets his assists from a number of ways, whether it be off handoffs and then he sets the screen for the shooter, or he can even take it in the high post, survey the floor and hit the cutting player or the open weak side shooter. He can also get it from the low post and dump it down to his other big man, or swing it to the other weak side shooter just like the high post. Another way that Sabonis mirrors Gasol's game is the mid-range shot. Sabonis has an extremely effective mid-range shot from 16 feet to about near the three-point line. He's shooting 43 of 85 this season, which is good enough for 50.6%. He runs the pick and pop very well, whether it be with Malcolm Brogdon, Aaron Holiday, or TJ McConnell. And in addition to this, he is also okay at shooting the three ball. He doesn't really shoot it that much, not like his rookie season where the Thunder used him as a pick and pop player, but he has the ability to shoot the three-pointer. He's shown it, even though he's just shooting 23.4% from that range this season. And finally, another thing he does well like Pau Gasol is shoot free throws for a big man. On his career, Gasol averaged between 76 to 78% from the line, and Sabonis is shooting a solid 72% on the year and for his career. I expect his numbers to go up as his shooting touch will improve. He's just 23 years old, remember that, and he's only on his 4th season in the league. Sabonis is also a very solid scorer from the inside, shooting 53% on the year. Sabonis has the footwork of his father and very much like Gasol as well. He has the spin moves, he has the drop steps, he has the up and under moves. He has a variety of finishes around the basket, and it really helps him with his 6'11 frame to score over bigger big men. Another aspect of his game that I think doesn't get enough attention is actually his athleticism. Sabonis is only 240 pounds and has a 6'11 frame, and this allows him to run down the court faster than your average NBA big man. We've seen the Pacers throw numerous lobs to him on the fast break because he beats his man. We've seen him roll to the basket hard and go up for an explosive dunk over a defender. Sabonis is actually more athletic than his father and Gasol, in my opinion, and that's what really separates him from the two. This athleticism really helps him get a lot of easy buckets. Like I said before, he's able to outrun his man in transition and get an easy layup or dunk, but this also really helps in the pick and roll situation because he rolls to the basket so fast. The help defender has to decide whether to stick to Sabonis or the ball handler. And let's say the ball handler is someone like Malcolm Brogdon, a very capable shooter and driver. The defender is in a real dilemma. He has to stop Brogdon or he has to stop Sabonis, who is an extremely efficient scorer. And if Sabonis decides not to roll to the basket, he could just pop to the mid-range where he's extremely efficient, or he can even step out to the three-point line to continue to stretch the defense, or even hit the three-pointer. And even though Sabonis has all these strong qualities, there's always something you could improve on, and for Sabonis' case, it's actually his defense. He's a relatively solid post defender, but he has trouble kinda staying in front of the big man after the first move. It's those counter moves that get him, and he also doesn't really have the ability to block shots, as he's only averaging 0.5 per game. But this is remedied by Miles Turner, who is averaging about 2 per game, which makes them a pretty solid duo. They're a solid duo on the defensive end, let me clarify that. They still have a lot to work on the offensive end because Turner is basically used as a spot-up shooter, which is extremely weird for a center. But continuing on Sabonis' defense, he needs to work on his rim protection, and also he needs to work on his perimeter defense against quicker guards. I know that I said he's athletic, but he's still not fast enough to guard those shifty guards like Kyrie, Kemba, and those other guards such as James Harden who like to isolate. If he could become an average defender on the pick and roll, able to hedge and then run back to his man, which he has shown signs of, don't get me wrong, which is good for him. But if he's able to do that consistently, he'll be a really solid player, along with improving his rim protection. But to summarize it all, Domantas Sabonis has been essential for the Indiana Pacers. He's by far and wide their best player so far this season. He's their best scorer down low, he's their best rebounder, and he's one of their best passers as well. If he improves his defense and continues to improve his range and shooting ability, he will be one of the premier big men in the future, and expect to see a lot more All-Star appearances and some All-NBA selections as well. And with all that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think of Sabonis' game. Do you think he's an All-Star or not? Sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you for all the support, and with all that being said, have a good day or night wherever you are.